Joining us to talk more about Love Their Game is the CEO of Active, Jennah Wootten. Good morning, Jennah.
Good morning. How are you both?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. This is something that I'm well aware of because I'm a dad of young children. And so I've seen this firsthand about people's behaviour on the sideline. So before we get to your great initiative, Love Their Game, can you just talk about the behaviour that you've witnessed or you've heard from other parents or that's come through Active, and why did you need to come up with this initiative?
Absolutely. Well, I guess for context, Active is an organisation that is all about getting young people and children involved in sport and building a really lifelong love of whatever sport they choose to be involved in. And what we've been hearing over recent years is that there is an increasing level of less than ideal sideline behaviour being experienced around kids' community sport. And the word that you sort of used a few seconds ago was about people getting passionate. And I really believe that the vast majority of people that are going to support their tamariki or rangatahi on the sidelines are there because they're super passionate and they care deeply and they want to be there to support their young person. But what we're hearing from a number of sports organisations and what we're also hearing from the kids is sometimes that passion and enthusiasm gets a little out of hand.
How do you know, if you're a parent that watches their children at a sports game, how do you know if you're that person whose passion has gotten out of hand?
It's a great question, and that's one of the points of difference with Love Their Game, which is the initiative that Active and a number of regional sports organisations have collaborated on. We've launched a new website which has a range of tools and resources on it. So all of those resources and that information is on lovetheirgame.org.nz. And what we're really trying to do is help adults understand where that sort of line is, what good sideline support looks like, and where maybe they're crossing into a territory that isn't helpful. One of the things I think is really powerful with the young people in my life is actually saying to them, hey, look, how do you want me to show up on the sideline? You know, what do you want from me on the sideline? Because I think if we were to talk to a sample size of 5 kids, you would probably get 5 quite different responses from them around how they wanted you to be on the sideline. So we've developed a range of resources and tools, but I also really encourage adults to be having that more open conversation with their young people to understand their views.
You mentioned that you've got information back from around the city of sideline behaviour. Have you got the actual stats on what that looks like? I mean, what are we talking about in terms of numbers at particular games?
Yeah, so a recent survey, what we heard was that 2/3 of respondents have witnessed poor sideline behaviour in the last 12 months. So that was around 61% of the people that participated in our survey. And as I said earlier, we're Active is collaborating with a range of regional sports organisations on this. So the fact that you have organisations like Counties Manukau Rugby, North Harbour Rugby, Auckland Rugby, Northern Region Football, Netball Northern, Tennis Northern, Badminton North Harbour. The list is really long of the number of sports that have all been coming to us saying, hey, we want to do something together. And I think that's what we hope will be a real game changer with Love Their Game, because we know a lot of families have multiple children and the children often play different sports. So we want all of these sports to be rolling out the same messaging and have the same support mechanisms around what good sideline behaviour looks like. And that's what Love Their Game is trying to achieve.
Why is this important? Like, what's the impact of the inappropriate sideline behaviour on the actual children playing the sports?
Well, what we know is that negative sideline behaviour is actually seeing our kids drop out of sport. And you know, that's worst case scenario, right? We want our young people to be staying in sport throughout life. And we're not just talking here about competitive sport. You know, we know our young people want to get involved in sport originally for a range of reasons. It's the It's the fun, it's the teamwork, it's the hanging out with their mates, it's the social connectivity that sport provides an amazing platform for. So when adults are behaving poorly on the sideline, we know that's negatively impacting how our kids are feeling. So we want to help adults harness their passion, harness their enthusiasm, so that ideally these young people are staying in sport right throughout life.
Finally, to wrap things up, is everyone going to be on the same page? Because it takes the village, right? You got your parents, you need coaches to be on the same page, you need the referees to be on the same page. So how are we going to educate everyone to be on the same page? Is that in the Love Their Game toolkit?
Yeah, it absolutely takes a village. You're so right there. Love Their Game is about everyone involved in community sport. So I this morning have talked a lot about our young people, but it's also about referees, it's about coaches, it's about our volunteers, it's about our administrators. And together with the regional sports organisations that Active is working for, we're hoping that collaborative effort, that consistent messaging, and ensuring that there's a really long-term focus on this. You know, for Active, this isn't a one-month campaign. This is something that we're working really hard on and we're going to continue to have a focus on. And over time, we hope that we will see our young people and our referees and our coaches telling us that Love Their Game has been a real game changer and it's made a difference.
Before we do cut you loose, for somebody listening who's a parent right now, what would you say to them as they approach the game this weekend?
I think a great question, a great lead-in question, maybe as you're heading to rugby or you're heading to netball, is a simple, what are you most looking forward to this morning? What are you most looking forward to about your game? And, on the way home in the car, flipping it around, what did you enjoy most? What did you learn? How did you find that experience? So asking really open and curious questions rather than providing direction and criticism and critique, because our young people don't need that. Ultimately, we want them to be supported. We want them to be having fun. We want them to really enjoy the experience. We want them to love their game so that they stay involved into their later years.
You've been great this morning, Jennah. One more time, what's their website if parents want to jump in and have a look-see?
lovetheirgame.org.nz.
Appreciate your time this morning. The CEO of Active, Jennah Wootten. Take care, Jennah.
Thank you so much. Have a great morning.
You too. Bye-bye.